So then Indy flies off to is it Nepal? It's Nepal, isn't it?
Mm. No,
Up in
Tibet.
the I thought it was
Nepal,
Nepal.
yeah, in the Tibetan mountains. So, because a great, amazing shot of that beginning title scene
Mm.
of the bar, because you see it, and I love that with the red line going across the map as the plane is
Oh, the
flying
yeah,
across.
the
That's
yeah.
just, I just forever love that. So,
Da, da,
yeah,
da, 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 da.
that's
It actually
Australia.
doesn't go to
Yeah,
Australia, but I
yeah,
thought
it
I picked
doesn't
up
no,
on
go
that.
to Australia. But yeah, that shot of again, just to show you how brilliant filmmaking was the Tibetan mountains you see in
The
that
establishing shot of the bar, yeah, in the
established
mountains.
shot.
Is
That
that
is
miniature?
the mountain. No, no, the mountains are painted on glass.
But yeah, we're introduced to Marion, who is
Hmm.
Indy needs. I mean, she's the love interest, but
Yeah, and
so
an
much more
old
than
love
that.
interest. Yeah,
An old
that's yeah,
flame, yes.
yeah. Hmm.
She was a child, she was in love, it was
Hmm.
wrong, and he knew it. But but the reason he's here, the reason he's tracked her down after all this time is because he needs to
Hmm.
get the headpiece of the Star for Ra, and
Right,
they think Abner, her
it's
father, has got
Abner.
it.
Yeah. Hmm.
So he's like, if you get, you can. He tries to buy it off her. So it's an exposition scene, really expository dialogue introducing their relationship.
Hmm.
But again, these talky scenes, they always kind of seem to play over some kind of action or movement on screen, like you were saying earlier when he's talking to Marcus and he's packing. Here, Indy's talking to
Hmm.
here he's the one who's trying to reason with the other character who's moving around and
Yeah.
can't sit still. And Marion's
Mm.
tidying up the bar after the a busy night. And
Exactly. I think the best bit of that shot is the introduction to Indy. The shadow, just Indy
yeah, the shadow on the
appears,
wall, which comes up
shadow on the
again
wall.
later. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Just and
Well,
again, you
shadows are
even know,
important in this scene.
even by this point in the film, you know who Indy is just by his shadow,
The
not
hat,
just the
the
silhouette of
fedora.
the hat and the fedora, and oh, just
Even
absolutely
the way he
magical.
walks in,
Yeah.
the sort of little bit of a swagger when he walks in, and
Yeah.
um, and then they have this big conversation, and basically she tells him to sod off, pretty much, and he leaves,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
see you tomorrow, Indiana
Hey,
Jones, and all that.
Jones. That shot of
Yeah,
him leaving, the lighting on it, I don't know if you've ever noticed it, but as he's leaving, he's like where he turns back to look at Marion, he just his eyes are in light, the
yeah,
rest of
yeah,
him is
just
in
light in the
shadow,
eyes. Yeah.
and he holds that just for a moment and then steps away, no,
Yeah.
almost foreshadowing what is about to happen next. Um,
Is there a name for that kind of shot? Because you do see that. I saw it in a movie
oh yeah,
recently.
it's
I
a
noticed it
classic.
where the face is in shadow, but the eyes are lit, like a sort of
Eyes are
letterbox
lit. Yeah,
effect.
it's a letterbox effect. I can't remember the name
Yeah,
of it, but yeah,
no,
it's
I'm sure there's
used
a name for it in the
constantly.
business, but I can't think what it
But
is. Yeah,
what I really
but
like
it's really
about it,
cool, isn't
because
it?
normally you get it as a forward facing shot like we are now, where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
get the light going across our eyes, doing straight
yeah. Just a
horror or
slash of
fear,
light
or
across,
it's
like
basically
Adamant's
there
sting.
to. Yeah, it's basically there to accentuate emotion.
Emphasize the eyes. Yeah,
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 it's emphasize the
yeah,
eyes because the eyes are the windows to our souls. So
yeah, yeah.
whatever emotion that we are
Our souls.
portraying, our souls,
Sorry,
um,
couldn't resist it.
child,
No.
um,
So
it's the
the eyes are the
eyes are going
windows
to give
to
away
our
whatever
souls.
emotion you are trying
Yeah.
to portray. So
So it
that's where it
focuses it
basically
on
comes
in a
from.
key moment.
But
Yeah.
what's fabulous about that particular shot is Indy's just in parcel. He's like
It's in
side
profile,
on.
yeah.
He's in
Yeah, he's sort of
profile
looking
when he
back
does
like
it.
that, isn't he? Like,
So
yeah,
and
yeah.
even that it just is so strong. And
Just one eye.
okay,
Yeah.
one eye, just that's all he
But one an
needs.
eye.
Yeah,
But then we transition.
yeah.
It's in the
Mm.
same set, but we transition and the way the scene is now, this
It's
is when the
brilliant because
scene
he's talking
changes, the
about the head,
shooting, the
yeah,
angles, the
the
camera angles
headpiece of the
change.
Ra. He's talking about it all
Well, then
changes,
she
and
reveals
then
that she's got it to the
she's
audience,
got it.
but
It's
not to
hanging
him.
over.
She's
Been
got it around her
around her
neck.
neck all the
Mm.
time.
Yeah, she's got it
So
on her
she
the whole
keeps
time.
it really close to her. Yeah. So
Because it reminds her of her dad who's dead, I suppose, and all
yeah.
that. But
Hmm.
then, so we're moving now. We're in transition now from a dialogue scene to a fight scene. So
Mm.
this is where the angles start changing, the camera angles
Mm.
start changing. We get a better sense of the bar, which is gloomy and lit by the
Yeah.
fire. It's sweaty, it's
Well,
smoky.
what's great is
It
with
looks like an antechamber of hell, doesn't it?
yeah,
It's
but
like
what's great
it's quite a forbidding place.
that shot where she's holding the Star of Ra, she's just pulled it out from
Yeah, from a
um, yeah.
under a
You can
shirt or
see
whatever. Yeah,
that she's got a flame right in front of her. She's got
candle
a
flame right in
candle,
the front.
and of
Yeah.
course that just suddenly flickers, and she's like, "Look, it's
doors
And
opening.
nothing's changed. And of course, yeah, someone's moved, someone's got back in, as we know, because that's like the foreshadowing was
Visual
about to
storytelling.
happen.
Doesn't cut away
Yeah.
to the door at
No,
that
doesn't
point.
cut. It's just still
It's
on the same
suspense.
shot. Yeah,
We're sort of watching, think, oh,
exactly.
what's going on? Yeah,
And then, of course, you get a knock, and then these other people arrive at the
yeah.
bar, and she
The
says that they're
Gestapo.
closed.
But again, and also you're talking about the shot of Indy, the profile shot with the eyes lit. There's a few shots
Yeah.
like that of people coming and
Mm.
going in the door frame,
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
there? Like
all
that
the
close
time.
up on that tight close up on the door frame, like this is a place of transition, where future
Mm.
directions are chosen and all that. You've got all this, but again, you've got all these different high, like we said before, the camera up in the corner, high
Hmm.
wide angles, which I think was established before the
Oh, yeah.
Gestapo come in.
Hmm.
All these high wide angles, all different directions. It's all building this sense of space for the actions to come.
Yeah.
Because it's a big fight scene with a lot of
Oh,
complicated
brilliant.
geography and a lot of complicated
Very,
action that
very
you
good.
have to
And this is
follow.
where the editing, this is what I mentioned before about how good the editing is with this,
Mm.
because with that fight scene, yeah, you've got to establish what's going on, how many people are involved, the environment they're in, the fire, the glass, where
All
you've
these
got where
elements.
people have got cover in this gunfight that's about to happen. So there's
Mm.
this really interesting dynamic between the sort of wide angle shots to establish what the hell is going on in the environment and what's going on
Mm.
with each of these individual characters, and then suddenly shuts to a close action
Close
shot
up.
of close up of shooting and sound effects. I mean, I'm sorry, we haven't even touched on this yet. I know we talked about,
Oh, the
but
indie
sound,
punch noise. Yeah,
the indie punch and the indie gunshot. It's just
yeah,
I love it. Just
yeah.
love
I
it.
don't know if
There's
that's going to come
nothing.
through on the
Yeah.
mic. Mike's kind of weird. But
Mm,
also with all these different angles, you
mm,
get it sort of suggests like shifting power relations as well. Like who's
yeah.
really in charge in this scene? At first, it's
Hmm.
Marion,
Yep.
very much in charge because she wins the
and
drinking
and
competition against this
absolutely
giant
brilliant.
Sherpa or whatever he is.
She's amazing.
Oh,
Characterization. I mean,
we're gonna
sorry,
talk
yeah,
about
we're going
Marion
to get
later.
to.
Don't
All right,
worry.
we'll leave that for
But I
then.
mean,
Yeah.
but first she's in charge.
Mm,
She runs the bar. It's her bar. This is my
yeah.
place. She's
Hmm.
tough and she's then the Gestapo and the Nazis come in, led by Major Todt,
Yep. Tote.
I can
Um.
only say his name like this. Todt. Again, power
Mm,
relations again. Indy comes in, they have the big fight, and
yep.
and Indy rescues Marion effectively,
Mm.
and he shows his true colors, and they go off on the adventure together, and I'm your goddamn
Damn
partner, and all
partner.
that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but again, visual story, efficiency of storytelling. There's this
Well,
great
again,
shot that
yeah.
I love. Can I tell you about this
Mm,
great shot in the movie,
please
in this
do.
scene that
Yeah.
I love?
Because yeah.
And I think, and again, you talk about shadows earlier. When Indy walks in, the shadow, although you see the shadow first, then you see
Mm,
him.
yeah.
They use the shadows again later on when he's struggling with the big henchman, the
Yep.
big Gestapo, which is played
Hmm.
by Pat Roach, the late great Pat
Yep.
Roach from Alfred His Pet. And
Seen
he fought.
twice in this movie.
He
Yeah.
must have been. How many times did he fight in Harrison Ford in these movies? At least twice in
Loads.
this, once in
Yeah.
Temple of Doom, I think. They
Doom.
must have
Yeah.
been like either best mates or worst enemies by the end of all this.
Exactly.
But anyway, so he's sort of struggling with Indy, and and you can sort of see the guy, and then it cuts away to Toad saying shoot them both,
But
and his henchmen get the
it
guns
just
ready
looks
and
like,
they're going to shoot
huh?
him, but
Yeah.
and then Indy sort of and he grabs Pat Roach's gun and shoots the
Yeah.
baddies. But instead of
Yeah.
cutting away to show the baddies with their squibs going off and
Exactly.
dropping like a sack of spuds, you can see their shadows on the wall falling behind them. You
Again.
see the shadows just going like,
Uh.
using the sort of visual language that you've already set up in the scene with Indy walking in with the shadow. Yeah,
Mm.
it's so
It is a masterpiece. Another thing I love about, and that is the drinking competition right
oh
at the
the
beginning
beginning,
of the
yeah,
scene,
yeah,
with Marion and the other guy, and it just is so beautifully sets up for another scene later in the movie where Marion's been captured, and yeah, she's about to be interrogated to know
yeah.
what she knows about Indy,
But
and
she's interrogated by Belloc.
she's interrogated by
Yeah, and
Belloc
he's
first.
the carrot rather than the stick, isn't he? Yeah,
Is
he's
going
trying to sort
carrot
of
and stick
charm her,
approach.
and
Yeah,
I
exactly.
got to give you, I got to get you drunk and give you a nice
Yeah,
dress. And
and
why am I making him
supposedly,
Italian? He's French.
yeah, and supposedly a lot of this scene was ad-libbed, where they came up
Do you
with
know
the
what? That
drinking.
doesn't
Yeah,
surprise me.
it
Yeah,
was
that
it
doesn't
was
surprise me.
ad-libbed about the drinking competition
The early scene establishes that she can drink anyone under the table, even a
in table.
big bloke like him.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
then Belloc, who's not a big bloke. Yeah, I mean he's
exactly.
French, but
But there's
if
so
he was
much
Scottish, you might have a
beauty. It's
trouble,
yeah. So, for
or
instance,
Danish
at
or
the
something. But
beginning, you notice that she's quite low down. And this kind of plays out all the way through that scene where
Oh, she's
she
sitting on the
starts
floor, isn't
off,
she?
she's sitting on the floor, but when they go to the bit where, she's pretending that he's
She's
drunk
more drunk than
her
she
under
is.
the
Yeah,
table, she's on the floor laughing and like,
yeah,
pouring the glass and
missing the glass with the
missing the
bottle.
glass
Yeah,
and
yeah,
laughing. And obviously she's playing him, so she's low down, he's much higher up, and then obviously, she goes for the knife that she's been
mm,
holding, which is the whole only reason she went to put the dress on in the first place, was that she could get the clothes to cover the knife
yeah,
to try and get that. So everything is all set up.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
so, so well done. And
Well
then
directed, one might almost say.
incredibly well directed. And again, I can talk about shadows even in that, because there's a brilliant, yeah.
No, no, I was just
No,
going to say a lot of this stuff wouldn't be in the script either because it's
no, no, it
a lot of the
isn't.
detail that
Yeah.
we're talking about wouldn't really be in a. I mean, some of it, a lot of it would have been, but some
Mm,
of it would be the sort of thing where you start shooting and you think,
yeah.
actually, even after storyboarding and all that,
There's a brilliant shot you probably not even noticed, but even I just started, oh, that's just beautiful. That's brilliant. It's because it's in a tent.
yeah,
You've got a really strong. So the beginning of that bit where Belloc comes around to sit down, right at the beginning of that scene, there's a really good shot of one of the guards walking past the tent. So you've got
because
bright.
the
You
lights
get,
are
yeah,
outside
you
coming
get
in,
the
aren't they, through
lights
the
coming
diaphanous
outside because it's
material?
nighttime. So you've got this kind of
Yeah,
searchlights coming up, and
yeah, a
one of the
lot of them are
guardmen
moving around.
walking
Yeah,
past the
I
tent.
did notice that actually. Yeah.
Just, just, ooh,
It's
so
it's
fun. I love
atmosphere,
you.
but it's also establishing threat, and also because
Threat
later in
and
that
yeah,
scene, we jumped ahead a bit. We'll jump back again in a minute
yeah,
because later in that scene, she does try to escape, and
yeah.
she
I've got
says
to
like,
be
"There's no."
leaving
He
now.
says, "There's no,"
Yeah,
but he says, doesn't he? There's no
yeah.
point in trying to escape. The desert is
It's
3 weeks in every
14
direction.
direction. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
when
he's
she
on a
goes to
chair, isn't he? Yeah,
leave, um, oh God, Ron
tote,
Lacey
tote,
Tote appears,
tote.
and he's much higher up. So
But he's
there's all
standing
this
up. Yeah,
kind of stage production of
hierarchy. Yeah,
hierarchy of heights,
and where the
and
camera
that's
is
all
as
in the
well.
scene. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it's all there, and
it's all
such a
there.
brilliant thing with the coat hanger. It's just, I love that. It's
Yeah,
kind of
the fake
torture
out with the
thing.
coat hanger. He's like, he gets it.
Yeah,
She thinks it's a
it's
torture device. And
nice.
Belloc's, but she's like hiding
Even
behind Belloc.
Belloc's
She
like,
runs over to him.
what's he
Even
got?
Belloc's like, yeah,
Exactly. He runs behind her, and yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, she
No, she
runs
runs
behind
behind
him.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know he's French, but he's not that much of a
Mm,
coward.
mm,
And then, like, he's because Spielberg does have a very
mm.
mischievous sense of humor,
Oh, brilliant.
and he always
Yeah,
has that. He's a bit of a naughty boy. He's a naughty
yeah,
schoolboy. He's a naughty schoolboy sense of humor. Should we jump back a
yeah.
little bit to
Let's
because we
let's
we,
go
uh, we
back.
ju-
So
we jumped
where
ahead,
are
which
we
is fair enough because I didn't have notes
after
about
the
it, so
bar
that's all right.
scene? It would then
Well,
move
I was
over
going
to
to the
them.
next bit was they go to Egypt
Yeah,
and
they
the
go to
market
Egypt.
chase
Hmm.
and the
Well,
market scene, which is
yeah.
quite
Well,
a
actually,
quite a
can we
protracted
just
sequence.
lovely
Yeah,
bit of, because obviously that first bit is where they go to Salah,
yeah. Then we
um,
introduced to Salah, his contact in
Salah,
Egypt, his sort of
and
friend,
that
friendly.
wonderful opening established shot of Egypt and Cairo, which is
Yeah, the Cairo
brilliant.
cityscape, and
The
yeah.
cityscape, which is absolutely fantastic, which
Did they film
isn't,
that bit in Cairo?
no, all of it
That
was
was all
shot in
Tunisia as
Tunisia.
well.
All of it
Yeah,
is, yeah. So they didn't even go to um,
Egypt.
Egypt. So actually
Right.
saying that, the place they went to shoot it was, oh, come on, I do have it in my notes.
Yeah, you wrote it down.
I did write it down. Oh, come on, where is it? Sorry about
Time's
this.
running out, Alan.
You might,
I need your final answer.
no, oh no, I have got it. It's just
Tunis?
that
I don't know.
there's too
What's
much
in?
on my notes. Um, all right, so the actual place they shot this in Tunis is the town where all of that
Yeah, standing in for Cairo. Yeah,
Cairo was called Kawan, Karwan, and
Karwan. Yeah.
translated is called Little Cairo.
Oh, that makes sense. Karwan. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so yeah, it was all
That was
shot in
lucky.
Tunisia. Yeah, I had to remove something like about 200 to 300 TV aerials
Yes.
for that
It's always
beginning
the
shot,
trouble,
because
isn't it? Yeah,
obviously
yeah.
it's 1936.
Nobody had the
So
telly.
yeah,
Telly was,
no
I think, was invented that
CGI.
year, wasn't it, or
Yeah,
something
exactly. So
around
they
that time? So
manually
yeah.
took down all of these aerials to get that establishing shot, which is, yeah, and then obviously put them all back up again. So
Should we move on to the market chase
yeah, let's go into the
sequence?
market set, because that's
Because
just
it
fabulous. It really
again,
is.
it's a at this point in the movie, I feel like Spielberg is just bloody showing off.
Mm,
the bar fight was clever. That was all done with a lot of it was done with quick cuts and clever angles and like we've said,
hmm.
efficient storytelling. But
Yep.
this initial punch up in the market chase when the
Mm,
guys come after the guys with the swords just in league with the Nazis in town
yeah.
come up to kill Indy and Marion while they're at the market stall. It's all done in one lot. That initial punch up is done all in one
Yeah.
long shot.
Exactly.
Spielberg is so confident in his blocking skills that he doesn't need
Mm.
to cut away except for effect rather than like covering up mistakes. He's got it
And
all. He's got
again,
the whole thing figured out.
why show something in two or three shots that you can show in one? So take
Exactly.
the bit with Marion with the frying pan and the guy
Yeah.
chasing her. So she's like
You don't
out,
even
and the
show it
guy's
at
with a
all. You
knife.
don't show the
No,
action at all.
exactly. She goes running
He
into a
runs. She
doorway.
runs in
He
with the
goes running
yeah
in. You hear the bong.
yeah.
His
She
guy
runs.
falls
It's
out,
comedy.
and
It's
she
almost
just drags
comedy.
him back in.
It's like when Benny
One
Hill. It's
shot.
like
Just
yeah.
so
It
beautifully
is
done.
almost like a
Yeah.
Roadrunner cartoon or
Yeah.
something. But in a good way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
good.
but
But there's also stuff like again another clever thing in the he also Spielberg also knows when to just sort of like lock off the camera
mm,
and let the action come to it. Like there's that great shot
yes.
of Indy. It's just a locked off shot of him in the distance, and he run. Oh, ow, and he it's banging my elbow. He runs right up to the camera and like
Yes.
just his eyes are in the shot
Mm.
like that because
And
he
then
sees
looks
like
around.
a market
Oh, kit for
full of baskets that Marion could be in any one of them, and it's like, oh shit.
exactly.
And then the
Mm.
camera again doesn't cut. It backs away and follows him
Mm.
putting all these baskets down. Marion,
Yeah.
Marion, which one are
Yeah.
you in?
Mm.
Later on when they go to see the guy, we'll come back to the market, don't worry, but if you want, but like when they go and see the guy with the telling them about the headpiece that they show him, and he
Yeah.
says, "Oh, come and listen. I have
Yeah.
information for you." There's that shot where again doorways, the shot where it's
Mm.
locked on the door frame with the door
Yeah.
with the little holes in to let the air in,
Yeah.
and it's sort of the door swings open and the guy with the monkey, he sort of sneaks in
Yeah.
and poisons the dates and goes out again.
Exactly.
And then
Yeah.
the little boy or little, the servant boy comes in and sort of like opens the door and looks, what's going on? All one shot again. It's like
Yeah.
Spielberg is
Here's
using
another
every
thing.
trick in the book, isn't he,
Okay.
in this movie?
This is my sort of like thing to go and watch the film in black and white. That particular scene with the old guy giving the
Yeah.
readout of the markings on it.
Come,
I
come.
challenge you, anybody, challenge everybody, go watch that scene once in color and then go see it in the black and white.
Okay. Why?
And just from
Why
that
that
scene,
scene? Why
just
that
that
scene in
scene,
particular?
because the shadow, the lighting, everything, it
Okay.
just
That's a
looks
really good example.
incredible.
Okay.
And it looks so period as well. It just you are just transported back to 1936. Honestly, watch those two. You watch the same scene in color and in black and white, and you will just go, "Yeah, okay, Alan, you're on a you're on a."
Alan was
Steve, you're
right.
right. But yeah, but going back
I
to the
th-
markets, going
yeah,
back
yeah, yeah,
to the market. I mean,
yeah,
it's just so again storytelling. The whole thing where Marion hides herself in the basket to get
yeah.
away, and the monkey gives her away,
Yeah.
and that it's
And
just
they all stop.
it's
The Nazis are all running
comedy.
down the street. They're halfway
It's
down the street. They hear the monkey go,
exactly it's
and they
brilliant,
go like,
and it's
"Wait a minute! There's a monkey behind 100 yards
yeah,
behind us. We have to go and check and see. Perhaps the woman is in the basket. Yeah,
I
we
did.
have to go and have a look. Yeah." And the monkey's like, "Yes, come and have a look."
Yeah,
It's kind of
it's
bollocks, really, but it's
it.
at
Well,
this
no,
point you don't
that
care.
was the whole.
It's so up swept up in it. You don't care. It's like
Well, exactly. I mean, I remember that scene, watching that for the first time and hearing my dad laugh out loud, and my
they're
dad,
listening to a monkey.
yeah, exactly. And he's laughing as if he's
No
watching
wonder
a
they lost
Tom
the
and
war.
Jerry. Yeah. Well, he's laughing out as if he's watching a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it
'Cause-
is. It is.
yeah.
So much of it is like that. It's live action cartoon almost.
Mm,
There is stuff towards the end which I'm sure we'll talk about
yeah. Hmm.
that where the violence gets
Yeah.
pretty bizarre and
Yeah.
extreme and actually
Hmm.
uh, I mean it was a PG certainly when we were kids. Nowadays I wouldn't be surprised if it was a 12 or even a 12A. I don't know,
Yeah.
um but well I mean also I mean some of the violence is quite
Mm.
uh cruel really. I mean
But
shooting the
then,
swordsman in the
well,
market,
exactly. I was just about to
the
come up to that
swordsman
again.
doing
That's
his
that's an analog
and
comedy
then
thing,
Indy just
and yeah,
shoots him.
and again, we kind of this is now well known fact that
Yeah.
Harrison Ford, and
Do,
a
do
lot
you
of the
do you want to
cop.
do you want to tell the dysentery story, or shall
Yeah,
I?
well, he did. Well, it was basically just say,
No,
yeah,
go on, go
Harrison
on.
Ford had
After
dysentery
you,
when
sir.
that scene was going
Yeah.
to happen, and instead of them having an elaborate fight scene, which was all choreographed and
Yeah, yeah,
already
they figured it
kind
out.
of
Yeah, they're gonna have a big fight.
sorted out,
Yeah.
and Harrison just said, "Can I just shoot him?" And he went, "Yeah, right."
I think if with any other director,
Mm,
you know, I mean, if the market scene shows that well, the whole film does, but I think the market scene really is where you realize you think, yeah, this guy's doing everything. He can do anything.
mm,
Like if with any other director, Raiders would be like a calling card for a new exciting talent. But like
mm,
Spielberg's already proved himself with two other big hit movies. So like doing this a second time, proving himself
mm,
a second time after the misfire of 1941. I don't know you like it,
mm,
but it was a bit of a flop, and
mm,
the knives are out critically and from audiences apparently as
mm.
well. You know, oh, is he really? Was he a flash in the pan?
Yeah.
No, he proves it a second time with this. That no,
Mm,
I am he really is brilliant. And to do that, I think it takes not just talent, but it takes guts as well.
mm,
Uh, the
mm.
I can't figure this out like that. I don't-
Just put it on
I
the
need to figure
background
this. I need
behind
to
you.
figure out a
Just
standard
where
way
your
to do
dictionary
this.
and your
Well, because
thesaurus
I've
is.
got no, but I've got
Just
to have
stick
the
it there.
mic. Because if I go off mic, you can't hear me properly. That's
No,
not.
no, or just put the sign behind your shoulder in front of the book on the book rack. There.
Oh, there you go. Oh, that works. Oh,
There you
that's
go.
good. Yeah, I'll rest it on my shoulder
Yeah,
like a parrot.
yeah.
Okay, so
Or a
um,
monkey.
the spoiler sign. Yes, the spoiler sign is my my duplicitous monkey.
Monkey, yeah.
Um, at the end of the
Mm,
chase scene, things all go a bit pear-shaped when
mm,
Marion, well, Indy, you know, he blows up this truck
mm-hmm.
and then realizes that Marion was in
Marion
the
was on the
basket on the
truck.
truck.
Yeah.
So he thinks he's killed her. Now, even though we know as the audience, even if you haven't seen the film before, you kind of
Mm,
know that he probably hasn't because blimey, that would be a dark turn.
mm,
But Indy thinks we has, so
yeah.
thinks he's killed her. So so emotionally, it's like she's dead.
Mm.
So we get that lovely shot of him outside the bar, you know, drowning his
Drunken
sorrows with the
Zorros, yeah.
sad music and the repentant monkey sort of coming up and
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, mate." I'm not
Mm,
saying that, but you know. And then, you know, he goes and sees Belloc in the bar and everything, and
yeah.
these Arabs don't care if we kill
He
each other,
said,
they're
yeah.
not gonna interfere in our business.
Yes.
And then, of course, no, well, again in that scene, there's a talking scene, lots of different shots, Indy and
Hmm.
Belloc
Oh,
having a
and
confrontation.
there's a wonderful shot I want to talk
The
about
gun,
during that. Yeah.
the gun,
So
yeah.
yeah, again,
I don't think
brilliant
the
depth of
spoilers.
field, amazing depth of field shots. So you've got Indy and Belloc in the in the distance, and then right up close to the camera, you've got other members of people that are
Right in
sitting
the foot,
around.
yeah,
Then you can see someone just pulling a gun, and it's not just
yeah,
any gun;
passing it to someone
it's a
else, yeah.
Luger. And
Oh,
you
is it a
know
Luger,
it's a
that one? I
Luger.
thought it was a
You
revolver,
can
but
tell
yeah,
it's a Luger because
yeah.
you're meant to tell it's a Luger. So you know it's a not just a gun; it's
Yeah,
a
they're all in league with the
German
Nazis.
gun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Efficiency,
So
efficiency,
again,
efficiency,
just brilliant.
efficiency of the
So,
Lost Ark.
yeah, you've got the magical scene of the old man giving
Yeah.
um
The staff is 6 kadam
Skeleton
high,
hunts, but on the
but
earth,
take
take
back
back
1 kadam to
1 ton.
honor the Hebrew
Oh
god whose
God,
ark this is.
is
And they say that a six
yeah,
kadam is about 72 inches, so kadam is a foot, and blah,
yeah,
blah. So
exactly.
Belloq's staff is too long.
Long. They're
They're digging in
digging
the
in the
wrong
wrong
place.
place.
Yep.
Yeah.
I am the monarch
Nothing
of the
of the
sea.
sea.
I
I
catch
need to
dates.
bad dates.
Bad dates.
Right. Anyway, let's stop that.
Anyway,
Uh,
but that is a lot. Well, every scene is a joy. Again, boring
God.
exposition shit, and they
Mm,
make it interesting to look at
mm,
and fun to recite
right.
45 years hence.
So, of course, they get onto the dig site. And again, this is so beautifully shot. Bright, gorgeous, bright
Yeah,
sunlight. This is
desert,
right.
yeah, North
Desert
African
sun.
sunshine. Yeah, yeah,
Exactly. But yet you can see everything. You get a brilliant beginning panning shot of the dig site that it just spans
yeah,
right across.
yeah,
And again, everything is in focus. You
yeah,
can
yeah.
see it all. It's
But all the
so
action
well,
is happening in
brilliantly
the
done.
background, in the
Yeah,
distance, and they're focusing on this thing in the foreground that nobody else is paying attention to. This hole in the ground for
exactly.
the map room, which the
Yeah.
Nazis have already been in and
Hmm.
decided, right, that's where we need to dig over there. but we know better, don't we? Indy and
Yeah,
Sulla
exactly.
and the old
So
guy, they know better.
Indy
Yeah.
gets dropped down into the back room with the help
Yep.
of Salas, and then yeah, sort of like starts working bits and pieces out notebook and working out where he's going to put the staff and everything else, and
Yep.
waiting for the sun to come to the right point so he can put the staff in and get an idea. And again, so exquisitely shot where you see the
Yep.
sun coming into position, and you
Yeah.
see the line coming down, and you can
And
see
he's
it going,
and the light
oh,
of the light of the headpiece of the jewel, the crystal in the middle,
correct,
the red light, the red reflection, the
yeah.
red jewel kind of, yeah.
And it's
And the
so simple like
music,
that.
the
The
music is so
the
important in
bit
this
where
scene.
he's just brushing the sand away, and then he finds the one point, and
Yep.
it's just that. And then as you see it, you come see the light pass where the Nazis think it is,
Yeah.
and then oh, just yeah, it is
And then it
fabulous.
goes to
It
where it
really
really is,
is.
and the
And
light just
that's
goes
I think
shh.
that's what's brilliant is that's the first magical bit. That's the first sort of
Yes.
supernatural aspect. Mm.
What makes it supernatural, what gives it that feeling, is the lighting, the
Yes.
special effects of the light, kind of
Exactly. It's just
Academy
it,
Award
and
winning
it
special effects.
blinds out. It just yeah,
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
blinds out the entire room.
yeah, and the
Um,
music is incredibly
mm,
important. That sort of
oh,
um ethereal kind of
hmm
part of the score that, again, John Williams. I mean, the guy can just do anything. He can do
yeah.
absolutely anything. He can do the sort of bold, brassy, let's go for the march, the Raiders march,
Correct.
and then he can do something
Mm,
eerie. And is it double harmonic major scale? I'm not sure. He uses double harmonic
yeah.
major at some point. I know that,
Well, even tell you how
which
good
is,
he
North
is.
African music,
Tell you
and
how good he is. Sorry, going back a few scenes is before
mm,
Indy actually goes to Cairo in the first place, or goes to find Marion, where he gets on the water plane. And then you see the
tote
Gestapo
behind the paper.
tote, yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
just the sound. If you listen to the music in that scene, it just sets Tote up as the baddie
Yeah,
because
yeah, a little,
yeah,
da, 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 da,
ta-da.
thing.
It
Yeah,
is just simple things, but it's really
yeah.
so delicately, wonderfully done. You even forget that it's there. You sort of like
And it's
just
very old fashioned as well. It's
mm,
got that kind of 30s kind of, or maybe not even as old as that, but I mean, it's almost like is expressionistic the right
I
word? It's
will
almost like
say this.
it's almost on the nose,
Well,
but
it
it
is so
works. It's
much on the
almost,
nose. I think also
but it
that
works.
that particular scene where they do get on the boat plane as well. It is so 1930s. You couldn't mistake it for any other period in 20th century, Western 20th century period because you only really got boat planes in the 30s and the 40s.
Yeah, it's very specific. Yeah, it
Last bit of
was.
the map room, which I love, is
Oh
obviously
yeah,
where Salas has been taken away because he's been spotted,
oh yeah,
and yeah,
yeah, yeah.
and
The
then
Nazis say,
he
"Come and
goes,
help us with the fall, yeah."
yeah,
Whatever. Yeah, yeah,
and then of course yeah, Indy snaps a stick, gets ready to
yeah.
leave, and then the rope's gone.
The rope's gone. The rope
The
gets
rope's
thrown
gone.
in
How the hell
Marion.
am I going to get out? And then of
Yeah,
course yeah, you get the kind of the sheep rope with
yeah.
the
And the
Nazi
last
flag
sheet
at the bottom.
is a
It's
big
just again
swastika.
the comedy aspect of it is just fabulous. It
I mean,
really
that's
is.
like, well, we'll talk about. I mean,
Mm,
the Nazis are. I have a friend who, if he's watching this, he'll know who he is.
mm.
Who always says like Indiana Jones movies are only good when he's fighting the Nazis.
Nazis, yeah,
And I'm inclined to
yeah.
agree with him. So they found the one of the souls where the Ark of the
Souls, yeah.
Covenant resides.
Yeah,
And Indian Salah and his team of diggers,
that's
they dig
it.
up
And again,
the
what?
lid
Yeah, the lid. But
of
again,
the.
what an amazing opening shot to that, where you see Indy put his hat on in the silhouette scene. You've got the sun in the background because it's really they're
Oh, the
digging all the
silhouette of
way
them all
through the
digging,
night.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and Indy puts his hat on,
his hat
changes out
on,
of the,
right,
loses the sort of
the
robes that he's
costume, the
wearing,
robes. That yeah,
disguise to look
exactly.
like an
Yeah.
Egyptian.
hmm So yeah,
Yeah,
just as night is falling and everybody's obviously going to sleep, yeah, he just sort
and
of
the
like yeah
light gets
puts his hat
very
on.
sort of mysterious,
Mm,
and it gets sort
mm.
of like the
The
thunderstorm. Oh
clouds in the
dear, should you
background,
be
it's
doing
just
this?
yeah,
Yeah, and they dig up. I mean, I was going to talk about this later on, but I'm going to say it now. That
mm.
they scene where they get there. Oh, we found the edges. Find the edges. Find the edges. They find the
Spaniards.
lid. They dig it. They've hit stone.
Yeah,
They start digging up. They get the pry bars in,
yeah,
the crowbars, and like there's that shot of Indy like
mm.
pull, 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 and there's that shot of him with like the thunderstorm behind him. I think it's
Yeah.
composite, but the
Hmm.
thunderstorm behind him and the look in his eyes is like he's got this wild look in his eyes, like yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah, pull it, get the lid up, get the lid up. He's like he looks like Dr. Frankenstein. It's like it's
Mm.
really sort of like obsessive. He's
Sieve.
obsessive.
Yeah.
You see that there's another side to him that we haven't quite. We
Mm.
know he's determined, but this is more. This is something else. This is like something
Yeah.
a bit like okay, steady on there, Dr.
Mm.
Jones. Um, and so they lower, they well they see that the snake is full of the snake is full of rooms.
Yeah.
And take two, the room
Yeah.
is full of
The
snakes,
snakes.
which of course are
Indy,
Indy's big
why
fear.
does the floor move?
Asps,
God,
very dangerous.
dangerous.
You go
I
first.
just. Uh, brilliant.
And like but again, Chekhov's
Mm.
snake what's the word, phobia.
Mm.
It's set
Yeah.
up in Act 1, it goes off in Act 2 in this case. But
Hmm.
yeah, it's like, and they sort of, and it's all creepy and it's nighttime now and it's all scary.
Hmm.
Goes down into the thing, and he has to, and he descends into like his darkest, his most terrifying
Right.
fear,
Yeah.
and he has to. This is how, but it shows how determined he is. Again, he will lower
Exactly.
himself into a, or be lowered into a pit of snakes.
Yeah.
The only thing he's afraid of,
Hmm.
to get this bloody Ark of the Covenant.
Mm.
And they get it out, they lift it out with lovely, beautiful golden light coming off it. And
Mm.
but again, it's always like there's no sense of triumph when they find the Ark, is there? It's more, it's always like,
No, it's almost it's
oh,
very
you sure? You
business
sure we should
like.
be doing this?
Well, it almost feels a business like that when they get there and they find out where it is and just they lift the thing off. They're just getting on with it. They're just doing what
Yeah, yeah.
they've done sort of like quite a few times on quite a lot of archaeological
Well,
digs. But
I think they're trying to be business-like, but there's this
yeah,
underlying sense of, again, with the music and everything and the lighting, it's this underlying sense of like,
mm,
are we messing with things we don't understand?
it,
All that
yeah.
stuff.
But again, brilliant use of shadow as well, because obviously once they get the ark, bring the ark out of its holding place, you get this wonderful shadow of them sort of like bringing it across, and yeah, the snakes are still all over the place, but then yeah, getting it
The whole
back to be
place is
hoisted
slithering.
back up. The whole place is slithering, but yeah,
And it takes them all night as well, because by the
well,
time they've got the
exactly.
Ark up there, it's morning. And they get the Ark up, they
Which
get
is
Sulla
why
up.
right at the very end, the torches are running out, as we all very know, and all the rest of it,
Well,
because
yeah,
they've
but I
been
mean,
burning
hang
all
on a
night
minute,
through.
because hang
Mm,
on, we haven't got there
mm,
yet, because
yeah,
they get the Ark up and Sulla goes up, and then the rope gets dropped down again, and then
that's
he's
it.
like, Sulla. He looks
Uh,
up, and who's at the top? Who's at the top of the
yeah,
open lid
it's
at the in the
Bella.
roof? Who's that?
And again,
Hello, I am
brilliant,
Belloc. Bonjour,
brilliant
Monsieur
framing.
Doctor
If you
Jones.
notice, this is just amazing framing using the entrance of the Well of the Souls
And
to
it's like a
show
whip
where
pan up,
Belloc.
isn't it? It's like the
Yeah.
camera sort of or a disguised one or whatever, but
Mm,
yeah. And it's like Belloc just like, hello.
hello.
Yeah. I have won again, you see.
Again.
Why don't you like listen to me? If you listen to me, we would know. Why I do in Italian? Why my French keep turning into Italian? I don't know why. Anyway,
Mm,
but yeah, and yeah, Belloc and his pals
mm.
in the Third Reich get the Ark again, and it keeps and from this point on, it's like the Ark just keeps changing hands. It's like it's a hot
Exactly.
potato. It's a
Bounce
game
to
of
and fro, to and fro.
it's a table
Um,
tennis game with the
yeah.
Ark for the
Once
rest of the movie, pretty
briefly was
much.
yours is now mine. So,
What a fitting end to your last pursuits. In 1,000 years, even you may be worth something.
you
Son of
son
a.
of a bitch. Yeah, that was ad-libbed by Harrison, as well. So,
Yeah, it looks like it. It sort of
yeah.
just he sort of throws it away, and you're like, oh, Marion gets thrown in. Sorry, I
Marion
missed all
gets
that out.
thrown
Marion
in.
gets
Yeah,
thrown
yeah,
in
exactly.
and sealed in
All
by
of
the Nazis
the
against Belloc's wishes. But anyway,
exactly. But again, that's where
no,
the dramatic, this scene just goes from drama to heightened drama,
to
and
peril. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
peril. It's just it's like, and then you're thinking, well,
Where are you
how are they going to
going?
get
Through
out?
that wall.
Well, exactly. And I mean,
And they're arguing at the same time as well.
oh,
Like, they're trying to get
exactly.
out of
Yeah.
there, and they're
Mm.
surrounded by snakes. They still find time to bicker
So
and like,
ripping
why
bits
didn't you
off a
rescue me,
dress
you?
to go. Yeah.
Where'd you get this
Um.
from him? I was
Yeah.
trying to
Trying to
escape. How
escape.
hard were you
I'm
trying?
trying. Yeah. Just
Dude,
amazing. Yeah.
you're in a pit full of snakes with no
Thanks.
way out. Why don't
Yeah.
you concentrate on the matter at hand? But they won't because they're human beings, and that's fun.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's
But
drama and it's
it's
comedy a little bit,
what's
but
really
it's
quite interesting is obviously where it then dramatically changes, goes from yeah, where Indy sort of like rocks the statue
oh the
to
big yeah, he knocks
knock
it
out
over like
the
yeah.
wall that's been weakened by the snakes. Um
Because
and
that's
then
where they
off
come in, isn't it? Yeah, that's where they
yeah,
come from. Yeah,
exactly.
that's how they're
And
all in
try and
there.
get
Yeah.
their escape. Yeah, what I love about that is the peril goes from one peril just to something a new bit of peril. So they manage to get out of obviously the room with all the snakes, and then suddenly they're in the room full of skeletons.
Yeah,
And
it's one thing after a bloody another in this movie.
it's like one after the other. It's like, oh my God.
One battle after another.
Another
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah, yeah.
And what was amazing, I always thought, even when I first watched the film, is that end bit where Indy pushes that last boulder
Big
out,
statue.
and
Oh
they're
yeah,
back in daylight. It's going from dark
yeah.
suddenly to daylight.
The contrast,
The
yeah, that's sudden like, oh,
contrast,
you're almost
and
doing
you're
that, aren't
not.
you?
You
Like,
are a
yeah,
little bit, but you're not.
along with them, yeah,
Yeah, and it is incredible. And it's like you're
subjectivity
thinking, how strong has he got to be to push that? Because
to
it's a
knock the statue
pretty
over and
big
oh,
boulder to
and again,
push
sound
out.
design, you hear it hit on the floor like
Yeah,
it's like a
you
yeah,
know,
yeah,
it's really heavy bit of rock.
yeah.
And then he's like, right, right,
With the
we've got to.
right, mind you, with the right, leverage, and you could do it with your
True,
legs.
but you'd
And
probably be doing it
the
with your
human body is
legs,
stronger than you
not
think.
with your arms. Something that heavy, you'd be
No,
pushing out with your
you
legs.
brace yourself against another
Yeah,
solid bit of
exactly, and
stone and
push out
push it
with
with
your
your legs. You
legs.
can do it.
Exactly,
Legs are
but
very strong,
yeah,
much stronger than
um,
arms,
way
especially
stronger.
mine carrying them one
Yeah.
weight around.
But yeah, then obviously we get onto the plane scene, which is just
The
yeah,
exploding plane. Well, I'm sorry,
yeah.
spoiler alert. The plane explodes
Mm.
eventually, but
But
there's a big fight scene. They put the Ark on a
oh,
plane. The Nazis got the Ark. They put the Ark on a plane.
plane,
They get a
yeah.
flight out of there, and you know, and then so again, it's another set piece. Of course, Indy's
Hmm.
trying to get on the plane or take control of the plane. He
Hmm.
knocks out the pilot, I think, or Marion knocks out the pilot with the
It
wheel
knocks out
blocks
the pilot, yeah. Hmm.
like that. And then this big German officer, Pat Roach again, and he comes out of the thing and he takes his hat off and he's like topless and built like a brick
Hmm.
outhouse. And he's like, and he's up for a fight. He's like, oh,
Mm.
who's this little shit trying to nick my plane, and they
Yeah.
have this big fight, brutal fight scene.
Mm.
The take that it, and it prolonged brutal fight scene, which is like,
Hmm.
and the brutality of it is kind of it's sort of like it kind of makes it real, even though even though the whole we know the whole film is kind of we're sort of just going along for the ride. It's all bollocks,
Hmm.
it's all larks, but the brutality of the fight is
Oh,
nonetheless
it's
it's
just it's
very
straight. Yeah, it really
there's
is full on.
smashing
Um,
each other's faces in and kicking
what's really interesting, a
and the
lot of
way it
people won't.
ends well.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
horrible. He meets
couple,
a sticky end.
exactly. I mean, a couple of things that's just extraordinary about this scene, anyways. You see, like one of the beginning bits where you actually see Indy sort of like realizing, right, like there's the pilot, and yeah, it's the first guy that he's taken out, the guy with the
Figuring out the
wrench.
strategy, like yeah,
Yeah, so he's he gets spotted. So the guy with the wrench is sort of like trying to beat him up, and so he's having this one-to-one guy with a guy that's a lot similar size to him, and then
yeah,
of course,
he can
yeah,
take
the
it.
other bigger guy comes out. What's really fabulous about that shot is again one of those amazing shots that everything's in one shot. You've got the threat of the propeller, you've got the threat of the guy that he's just knocked out,
Yeah,
the really big, heavy, muscly guy about to really have a hefty fight, and the pilot who's just spotted him with a gun,
with a gun, yeah, yeah.
all in one
And he's
shot.
trying to shoot him as well. Like he
Yeah,
keeps
and that
the
is just
wing keeps getting in the way or whatever.
one
Yeah,
shot, and you've got all four dangers
it's an
in one place.
extraordinary blocking challenge, isn't it? You got a
It's
moving plane, you've
yeah,
got
yeah.
propellers, you got
Well, it's
so
not
they
moving at
can't
this
hit
point.
the
It's not
characters
moving
or
at
the
this
actors.
point because Marion hasn't taken the guy out, so the plane isn't.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And here's a fun fact:
Well,
do you know who
all
played
these
the
elements.
pilot? Do you know who played the pilot in that scene?
Uh, yes, I do. But why don't you tell our lovely audience because I see you're dying to do it.
No, no, it was Frank, the producer.
Frank
So
Marshall. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
the guy dysentery again. So the actor who was going to be
The actor
playing
didn't turn up or
the
couldn't do
actor
it.
couldn't turn up because he was just too ill. And
So Frank's like,
and
oh, go on then.
yeah, and Frank and yeah, Steve said, Frank, go get in.
Yeah,
You'll fit
Frank,
in
get his hat
that.
on. He'll fit in that costume. Go on,
Yeah,
you'll be all right.
and
Off you
yeah,
go.
didn't
All you
realise
gotta
that
do
it
is
was
point a
like
gun at Harrison.
yeah,
Just don't pull the trigger.
it's only 45 degrees Celsius. You'll be all right.
Jesus Christ. I mean, it's yeah, it's again another great scene, and
Mm.
I like again how it reveals character because like
Yeah.
I love that he has this big fight with the Nazi and the fight, as I say, goes on for ages. So by this point, like by
Oh.
the end of that sequence, we're like desperate for the fight to be over for Indy to win
Mm.
because this big Nazi. Well, first of all, he's a Nazi, and
So yeah.
Nazis must die. So, but also he's a big bastard, and it's like,
Mm.
how's he gonna beat him? He's like,
It's
well, he's
just
gonna use his
yeah.
surroundings, is what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
So he has this big fight. He gets a few good punches in, breaks his nose probably,
Mm.
gets knocked down one more time. Indy's on the floor, like looks up at him, like, oh, what am I gonna do? And then he
Mm.
notices that the propeller of the plane is sort of slowly coming round behind the big Nazi guy,
Yeah.
and he's like,
Ah.
okay.
Yeah.
And the look on his face before he turns away to cover him to protect himself,
Yeah.
the look on his face, he has this kind of like I call it the propeller smile.
Mm.
It's petty and it's vicious, and he's just like that. He's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I've won. Because then the guy turns around, he's like, oh no, it's a propeller. Oh, I'm dead.
Mm.
And
Exactly.
a big splash of blood on the fin of the
On
plane. Fin, is
over
that
the
the word?
swastika. Yeah, over the
Yeah, over the
swastika.
swastika. Oh
Which is
yes, I forgot
yes.
about that. Yes, it's over the
Yeah.
blood on the swastika.
Yeah. Yeah. This is towards the end of the scene, is how the tension just ratchets up and then ratchets up again and then
Yeah,
ratchets up again.
it keeps
And
it keeps
it does not stop. And it's just
mm,
fabulous because obviously you've got the fight scene. Marion then gets trapped within
in the
the
cockpit. Yeah,
in the cockpit. Indy can't get her out because he's in the middle of a fight. He's
yeah.
tried to get her out, and then
And the
you know
petrol, there's a
the
line of petrol,
yeah,
and
and
the
exactly the wing
planes
has
like, and they,
hit the petrol
yeah,
pump, and then that's getting the petrol's getting closer and closer to the flame. Indy knows
yeah,
that. Marion knows that.
we
And
know that.
Marion's shooted out the army guys that have arrived. They know that
Oh,
more army
with the
guys
machine
are going to
gun
be
on
coming
the
over
plane,
as
yeah,
well. Indy climbs up onto the plane, tries to get Marion out of the cabin.
yeah.
He can't. The latch is completely. He's like, get back, get back.
Get back, get back,
Fires
get
two
back.
shots into the lock,
Yeah.
gets her out, pulls her out, running away, and then a bang, massive explosion. And then
The
it
urgency of it
goes
is
on.
like,
And
yeah,
what
just
gets me about this is then it hits the second bit because then it's like, right, what are we going to do now? The ark's been put on a truck. What
yeah, and it
truck?
leads into it straight into
Just
another.
bang, straight into it. And
I mean,
it's
it
oh,
almost sounds like we're making it almost. We're almost. I feel like we're making it sound like it's just like, oh God, it must be exhausting to watch if you haven't seen it. It must be,
mm,
but
it
it
isn't the
isn't because
pacing.
but the pacing in between each, you do get a chance to take a breather in between each of these
Mm,
fantastically breathless sequences. You do get a
yeah,
little, just a moment, just maybe a minute in between, or whatever, a minute and a half,
exactly.
to actually sort of like get your breath back and like Indy
Yeah.
does. Again,
Yeah,
it's
well, exactly.
subjectivity
It's
because
like
Indy's
right,
just having a moment to
where's the
kind of like,
truck? So they're hiding.
oh, truck
They've
now, is
just got
it?
away. Got
What
to get the truck.
truck?
Where's this truck?
I'll get on a horse. I know, I'll get a
A
horse.
horse.
They have horses in Egypt, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's get on a horse. There you go. Job done.
exactly. And again, sort of classic kind of cowboy-esque, yeah,
Yeah.
American,
Well, it's like it's yeah. I mean,
American
you
hero.
could argue that all American action movies are
Mm,
westerns by another,
Westerns, yeah, exactly.
by
It's a
displaced
nod.
in time, aren't they?
It's a very heavy nod towards that. But he looks so amazing, leather jacket, fedora on a white horse, galloping
Yeah,
out on
yeah.
it,
It looks out
in the
of place,
desert.
but
It
but that's
looks
why
out of
it's
place,
good.
but
That's why it's
yeah,
amazing. Yeah,
exactly. But again, on this white horse, showing off the kind of hero aspect, white
yeah,
and black and all
yeah.
of that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean the truck sequence.
A truck
I
full
mean,
of Nazis
a truck full of
all
Nazis.
sitting around the ark.
One
How's he gonna
guy
get?
on a
It's a
horse
moving target.
against,
How's he
yeah,
gonna? Oh, just watch and
mm,
you'll find out.
exactly.
He's
So,
like one by one, he takes them out. He gets alongside
mm,
it. I mean, we're not. Let's not like do an autopsy on the entire sequence. But I mean, it's just like, let's just say
stunt sequences. I
the
mean,
stunt work. He's
just
hanging off the
his
back of the truck at one
truck.
point.
I mean,
It's just he takes a bullet for his trouble in the
yeah,
arm, or this arm and this shoulder. I think he fights off a whole truck full of Nazis. Driving takes over the truck, loses the truck, gets thrown
hmm
under the truck,
truck,
hangs off the back of the truck, will
truck.
not let go.
Yeah,
This utter unfettered determination. He will be dragged through the dirt and the dust
Yeah.
for this bloody Ark of the Covenant.
Hmm.
It's like, and the Nazis that are around the truck, they're all kind of like they're identical sort of,
Mm.
villain, henchmen. But although there is one guy, isn't it, the last
Yeah,
one, the last
there is
Nazi,
the
the guy with the
last
sort of
one.
like
Yeah.
bird shit colored hair and the hat that
Yeah.
flies off in the wind and all
Hmm.
that, and who's particularly like, he when he's punching him in the wound.
Exactly. That was
It's
just
like, oh,
good. Mm.
like probably the head of
But
the stunt team, and but it's just like we can't wait to see him die.
well,
It's just
exactly. But
like,
again, so much of this, because again, this is one of the classic scenes of the entire
yeah,
movie. Everybody
and
remembers the
of
truck
Hollywood
scene.
cinema generally.
It
I
is,
mean,
yeah,
everyone knows
because
Indiana Jones hanging off, being chased by the boulder, and hanging off the back of the truck. That's two
truck.
things everyone knows from this movie.
Yeah, because that bit about Indy going underneath the truck and then hook his
Mm.
whip underneath and
Yeah,
then pulling himself back up. Again, that was created mid-shoot. It wasn't
that
fully
wasn't in the
storyboarded.
script.
He was actually just going to fall onto those railings, climb back up the railings, and go round the truck and go back in the doorway. That's how it was originally meant to be. But
Mm.
again, on the shoot with Michael Moore, they came up with the idea of, and I think it was
Oh,
one of the
second unit
stunt
director,
guys
yeah.
said, "Hey, how about we go underneath the truck and cut a ditch so I can actually lie and get myself under?" And the stunt guy was like, "Yeah, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this." And they were like, "What
Of
the
course he
fuck?
was.
Really? You're going to
Yeah, I'll
do
do that.
that?"
Yeah, I want
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
that,
I
mate.
could
Don't
do
worry
that.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah,
So
dig a trench, be all right. Yeah.
cinematic history ball. It was just absolutely incredible. And also get this as well for because I mentioned a bit early. This is the first time that Steven Spielberg used a second unit. So that entire truck sequence was done by Michael Moore,
Yeah.
second unit
Second
team.
unit guy. Yeah, yeah.
Spielberg had to wait a couple, like quite a few weeks to see the daily shots. So I think it was like 4 weeks he didn't get to see any dailies, the
Oh, from the second
shoots
unit.
from second unit. I mean, as a director, you would have been going out of your mind.
Yeah.
First time you're allowing stuff like that to be done on one of your projects,
Oh,
and for
especially.
about
Yeah,
four
yeah.
weeks you don't know what the hell was going on.